So a few nights ago, I was in the garden with my family. It was late, the sun had gone in, we were having dinner, and it was just a really nice evening. We just were chilling, talking. But in the back of my mind, I knew that I hadn't edited my daily video. So I'd recorded it from earlier on in the day, but I just hadn't had the time to edit it. So we're talking, we're conversing, and I'm trying to find an opportune time for me to pull away, to go and to edit the video and to get it published, to make my daily video target or deadline. And then yesterday there was a family event, but again, I needed to finalize my video. So what I said was to my family, go ahead and I'll meet you there. Only I never did. I never made it there because what I was creating ended up just taking so much longer, and I'll get into why that was in this video. But essentially, 1 week into the project Freedom 46, I feel as though I have created another job. I feel like I have created something that should be leading me towards freedom, but how it feels right now is that it's doing the reverse, it's doing the opposite, and that wasn't the goal. And essentially, this isn't a YouTube problem. Anyone who is ambitious, anyone who's going after a goal, what we're really good at doing is convincing ourselves that this season is temporary. We're spinning our wheels and doing the most, and it's only for a short period of time, and therefore we justify it. We justify the overload, the overwork, because it's temporary. I don't necessarily know if that is the best approach. We'll see. Today is Sunday, so what I'm gonna start doing in this challenge is every Sunday I will keep the format the same, so it will be entitled the Sunday Debrief, where I'll look back at the previous week to let you know what has worked, what hasn't worked, what is costing me to run this challenge, the metrics. I want to be transparent, and I want to let you know, because you may be on a similar journey. I really don't want to just rock up with everything figured out, with a monetized YouTube channel, with money coming in, with my communities thriving, and you don't see the process, the journey that I went on to get there. So this is me being very transparent, being very open and very vulnerable. So let's get into it. Essentially, when I decided to take up this 100 days of long form videos, I thought, how hard could it be? Like, I love creating content, I go live, I record videos, like how hard could it be? I underestimated what was involved and what it took. So to make a video, and maybe I'm overcomplicating it, like let me know, but the process for me is looking like the ideation period, so coming up with the topic, what is it that I want to talk about, thinking about that, planning out the video, recording the video, and with that comes battling my technology. So whether my device is overheating or the microphone not connecting to the Bluetooth, and it hasn't connected today, so let's see what the audio is saying, right? Or what else have I had? My laptop grinding to a halt while trying to edit because of the increase in footage on it, but also the thing was just grinding to a halt anyway. So when it comes to the editing, Descript needs, I think it's like 20 gigs of available storage. Who has that? Not me. So to just chop like where I misspeak or where my family come into the room, to do that is taking forever in a day. Then you've got to optimize the video, so coming up with the right headline, the right thumbnail, the text overlay, creating the description, the links, the tags, right? There's a lot to it. And then yesterday I didn't make it to the family event because I further complicated things by putting an offer out. So I and you can check it out if you want to. But I put out an offer for what is called the visibility to client audit, and I just like flippantly put it out there, not thinking about all the other bits that need to go along with that offer. I just put it out and I didn't think about what that would take. So I then needed to create a landing page. I needed to create a checkout page. I needed to create the automation in my email marketing tool. I needed to create the confirmation email, the form for the intake, right? It was a whole thing. So one video ended up creating 7 jobs. I say 7, it was probably more like 70. I'm exaggerating, but right, I'm trying to show you that this one idea that I'm just going to make long form videos ended up taking a lot more time. It was a lot more involved than I imagined that it would be. And I'm really good at pushing through. I'm quite resilient. Once I start something, I want to see it to the end. But I have to question whether the system, the process, the way I'm doing it is sustainable. Because yes, I can endure through something that feels heavy, isn't sustainable long term, but does that make it right? That almost feels like, what is it? Is it Einstein's thing about the definition of insanity is continuing along the wrong direction? I'm butchering it, expecting a different outcome. So yeah, it has had me thinking. It has given space for me to pause and to actually reflect. And I'm very cognizant that there is this version of ambition where we push through, right? We say we'll sleep later, we'll get up earlier, we'll just keep going, we'll say no to things. But if the thing that I'm building is supposed to be the thing that creates the freedom, then maybe I'm going about it the wrong way. Maybe what I needed to do, and this is week 1, right? We have many more weeks to go. Maybe what I need to do is to bake in the freedom at early doors. Maybe that is why this week has felt hard, because I have more focused on the kind of mechanism of creating these 100 videos rather than the ultimate mission. And the ultimate mission is to get to that place of freedom, to have that leveraged business that allows me space to think. It allows me space to leverage what I already have, so I'm not overworking. It allows me to pour into the clients that I'm working with. So maybe that was the error. I needed to bake in freedom from the outset, as opposed to thinking that is something that I get to at the end of these 100 days. Because the worst thing for me would be that, yes, I got to 100 videos, tick. I got monetized, tick. My communities are thriving, clients are happy, but I've worn myself down. My health is compromised, my marriage is a mess, my children don't want to talk to me, and I'm resenting the business that I've built. I don't have the freedom, I don't have the space that was my desire, the space that I wanted to build into this business, and the whole reason for going on this Project 46, Project Freedom 46, if I can even get the name right. And so there's an opportunity cost, right? When you say yes to one thing, you're essentially saying no to something else. So the opportunity cost for me has looked like not pouring as much into my community, not being as active there, not prioritizing revenue generating activities. I haven't been intentional with putting offers out. It has meant that I have not focused on, I've been on the walk pad, but I haven't focused on my health, on exercising. It means that my family have been affected, right? It's only a week and I don't think anyone's going to leave me as a result of it, but 100 days in, who knows what impact that could have. So there's always an opportunity cost with your yes, and we need to be aware of that. We need to count the cost and work out whether we continue going in the direction we're going in, and whether it's worth paying that price, or whether you need to adjust and pivot to make sure that my ambition and what I'm going after can coexist together, if that makes sense. So essentially, I'm in the seed sowing stage. There's a plane going over, so hopefully that's not too loud. Essentially, I'm in the seed sowing stage, and when you are seed sowing, it's not sexy, it's not exciting, it's actually quite boring, right? You're sowing these seeds and there's no visible signs of life. No one's clapping for you, there's no harvest, there's nothing for you to reap, but you have to sow the seeds, you have to do that work. Similarly, when you're riding a bike, if you're going uphill, when you first start off, right, that is the time where you are pedaling the hardest to get momentum. You are working and putting your back into it to get you up the hill, to get the momentum. I feel like that is the season that I'm in. But then at the same time, I don't want to justify doing things inefficiently, doing things that could impact business, life, relationships for 100 days with the excuse that I'm seed sowing. I don't want to use the fact that I'm seed sowing as a reason or a justification for why I continue doing something inefficiently. And I'm going to flash up my metrics on screen, and like, full transparency, this is the hard bit, because for the amount of work that I have done this week, everything that went into producing the videos in this first week, there isn't a dramatic number. There hasn't been a crazy uplift. I'm not saying, yes, this was absolutely worth it. However, you kind of have to start pedaling. You have to continue sowing to get to those more exciting, juicy metrics. So yeah, full transparency, these are my numbers for the week. I've said that I'll be doing 100 days of content, so I won't be backing away from it. I'm gonna continue, but I just need to think about the system. I need to think about the way that I approach this so that I can bake and build freedom into the process. So essentially, this is my first debrief, my first Sunday debrief. I'll be continuing, I'll be pushing on. I'm not going to be quitting. I feel like the real challenge, the real experiment isn't whether or not I can create 100 videos, it's whether in this process I can build without letting the build consume me. I hope that this was helpful for you. As I say, maybe you are on a similar journey. Leave me a comment, let me know what you took from this video, and yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll see you tomorrow.